It's time for our new segment, The State of the Arts, where we discuss, examine, maybe pontificate about what's up in arts and culture in Colorado. And joining me here today to do that is Mark Rinaldi, the Fine Arts Critic from the Denver Post, and Geoff Van Dyke, Editorial Director from 5280 Magazine. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start with art criticism. I found a quote from David Mamet. He says, "My idea of the perfect happiness is a healthy family, peace between nations, and all critics die." Now, I think that's maybe a little rough, but I was interested in art criticism because recently Chloe Veltman, the arts editor from Colorado Public Radio, decided to depart. And one of the reasons she gave for that was that CPR doesn't believe that arts criticism should be a part of what they're doing in their coverage. She disagreed with that. Let's talk about the function of art criticism, and I will start with you, Ray.
Well, I mean, I'm an arts critic, right? So I think the more arts critics, the better, right? But Denver's a big city, right? But really the arts community is small. So everybody sort of works together, they collaborate, they use each other's theaters or musicians. So everybody's relying on everybody else, and it's really hard for anybody to have an independent voice. So I think like art critics, like me, I work for a newspaper, I'm able to have an independent voice and I think tell the truth. And sometimes, you know, artists really need to hear the truth from somebody.
What about for the people who are looking at art, Geoff? Do you think that reading criticism helps them frame what they might think?
I think journalists have to be careful about wanting to be boosterish. I think because Denver's a small place, you know, there's a thought like we want to build up the arts community. We want to be on the map like in New York, LA, Chicago. That's not our responsibility. I do think we have a responsibility to the consumers.
Arts access has been something that's been discussed in the art scene a lot lately. Denver Art Museum recently said that they are no longer going to charge $3 per kid. What do you think the implication is going to be for the Art Museum with this move?
I think the implication is for everybody else, not the art museum. I mean, free is a pretty good deal. And when you have to pay $12 to get into the zoo or $17 to get into Museum of Nature and Science, that becomes a very hard thing to sell to people. I think they should all be free. I think they are on public land, they're in public buildings.
But is that something that is feasible? I mean, it's built in right now, and you pointed out in a recent article that it's built into the structure of the budget for all of these organizations at this point.
I mean, what I always come back to with museums is, you know, you live in New York City, you have the Met, one of the finest museums in the world, and at least when I lived there, it was pay what you want. And I think that's one way to sort of get there is pay what you want. They may not advertise that, you know, they may not market that, suggested donation, but that's a way I think to get more people in the door. It will be interesting to see if, you know, the sort of rising tide raises all ships. If more people come to DAM, are they going to be more engaged in the sort of cultural life? And then they're engaged, they want to do that even if it does cost a little bit of money.
That's a great point. I mean, with DAM being free, it really opens people up to go to other places where they can spend their money. I mean, our institutions are world class. They're run really well and really efficiently. So it's not a matter of waste. It's a matter of priorities. So do you put your fundraising toward new exhibitions, you know, new buildings, or do you put it toward access? And to me, access equals free, and that's where they should be putting their efforts.
We asked viewers for questions via Facebook and Twitter. One I want to have us take a look at. Sarah Fernandez from Denver asked, have the film incentives worked? 5280 Magazine said, officially called the Front Range the hotbed for filmmakers. What do you think, Geoff?
When I look at the numbers, over the past 3 years, $8.8 million spent. Economic impact estimated about $75 million. If you ask me, that worked.
I mean, it's beyond economics even, because it's a good place to put money. Like TV, video, film, I mean, that's exactly where like art is happening right now. That's where all the good stuff is happening. And I think, you know, we want to support creativity. We want to make sure that's happening where we live.
I was thinking of this old quaint idea called a comment card. Once upon a time, you jotted down ideas that you maybe liked or disliked about something going on. Let's have us explore that. If you guys were going to write a comment card for the art scene, what would it say for right now? Something on your mind that you like, dislike?
You know, Denver's just in this boom right now. Things are really changing, and you see things that you really like and you see things that you wish were doing better. And one of the places I wish we were doing better is with our dance scene. There just don't seem to be that many dance companies in town, and the ones that are carrying the mantle, you know, I'm not sure they're connecting so well with the audiences here. You know, I'd like to see sort of better connection between the Colorado Ballet and audiences here. And then even the contemporary companies like Wonderbound, I mean, they draw in big crowds. And, you know, I'd like to see sort of the level of art that all these companies are producing rise up to the level of interest in dance. And if I can give a plug to something positive that I think is going on, this is a golden age right now for Denver's visual arts scene. I really suggest people get out to Redline, get out to David D. Smith Gallery, get out to the new little Dateline Gallery in Rhino. They're really interesting places, artist-run studios, things are really happening here now.
What do you think, Geoff?
The music scene is just thriving here, and there are a couple bands that I really love and would love to introduce more people to. So one is the Centennial. They're two brothers, the Meese brothers, and one of their wives. And I just fell in love with them a couple of years ago. They did this EP called Second Spring, and it's this beautiful atmospheric music. And then there's this guy named Blake Brown, and he performs with this group called the American Dust Choir. And he has an EP out called We Believers, and it's just fantastic roots rock.
That's all the time we have for today, but you can head to our website, rmpbs.org/artsdistrict, to hear more of our discussion. Mark Rinaldi and Geoff Van Dyke, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.